thank you everyone for coming. So I've got a few things I'd like to say. A lot. So some thank yous. I have to say thank you to everybody who's made today happen. I've had to do hardly anything. It's fantastic having a team delegation from Win. But I also like to say thank you to Edinburgh Airport Community Fund who funded this shed. Then Megan as well for her work on the application for the grant. And you may have noticed we're very active on the socials nowadays. That's due to her social media savvy and her Apple puns. So go check that out. I'd like to say Tim Heaton, tireless caretaker. The tireless caretaker of this Thomas Chalmers Centre researched and built the shed single-handedly, pretty much. The amount of thought that went into it was impressive and heartening. We knew every detail was taken care of, so thank you. And Matty was handed the baton as he coordinated and did a lot of the finishing touches, such as sourcing our flooring from Trinent Flooring, which was generously paid for by George Seawald, Chris Still, who expertly fitted the floor for us, and Kirsty, Matty and I, who amateurly painted the shed. Winchborough's men's shed built us the table and notice board, and they used a lot of repurposed items, which is fantastic, goes with our ethos. And of course, thank you to Fairshare who help us source the food which we're saving from the landfill. We have our behind the scenes volunteers as well who do the unseen tasks that keep this place running as well, most of whom were the original team who helped me set up the fridge. Alistair, Helen, Karen, Valerie, James and Eric are the ones that I haven't already mentioned for other things. Thank you to the KCCV for being our parent organisation and doing the official committee work so we don't have to. And to Kirkliston Parish Church, the ongoing relationship, the army of volunteers, and for footing that electricity bill. They also generously donated a third of the money made from the Carol at Carlowry event in December, so thank you. And thank you to the anonymous donor who donated £200, and to our volunteers, of course, who pick up the food to store in our fridge, do the cleaning and other general maintenance that keeps us compliant, which is super important. You know, I'm always banging on about it. And for the work at the Warm Hub as well on Thursday, which is ongoing and evolving. A lot of thank yous. And they're all really, really genuine. It's amazing to think we've been open for 2 years. Where has the time gone? I could talk a lot about impact in terms of kilograms or carbon footprint, but honestly, I didn't take the time to do the maths. Before we opened 2 years ago, one of the mission statements I made was that if we save 1 punnet of strawberries a week from going to waste, then we've done our job. And I think this really is the key for us and for moving forward sustainably. Remembering we as individuals do have power, even more so when in community. The impact we make is never small. When so much is going on in the world that may make us feel helpless, let's remember that what we do does matter. Every punnet of strawberries saved from landfill, every person in our community who feels more connected, every time you think twice about what goes in the bin, that is a win. That is how we make a difference. And my biggest thank you goes to the users of our community fridge. So a round of applause for all of you change makers. Announcements. So Helen will be stepping away from volunteer coordinating soon, although she has assured me she will still be a regular face at the fridge. I can speak for all of us when I say a massive thank you for all of us. So Valerie, who is our other volunteer coordinator, is on the lookout for a second to help her wrangle our wonderful volunteers. If you're interested or want to know more, please speak to either Valerie or Helen. tell you all about it. And for my second announcement, some of you may know Matty. He has been a supervisor for just over a year now and has really stepped up to the plate in this role. Amazing work. He will now be working with me as co-project coordinator with a view to taking this role in its entirety. And I will be having a few months off sabbatical, which will be a great opportunity for me to think up some new harebrained schemes. So, with no further ado, Jane is going to do
Can I
cutting.
just say something?
Sure.
I know I said no speeches, but I just like you have just stood and thanked everybody.
Yes.
But this would not exist if it wasn't for you.
Absolutely.
So a big thank you to you. Well done, you. Yes, it's been such a success. So I just now pronounce this new shed to open. Yay! Well done, everybody involved. Well done.
And Cameron would like to say,
Thank you and enjoy the set.
Yeah!